Hey everyone, Mark and Joey here on a Wednesday morning, and we're bringing you our golf show, which ties in with a little personal story. You're starting your first tournament tomorrow after a year off with an injury. We're hoping we get the same positive effects when Koepka did it.
Yeah. Not Thomas.
And Thomas, well, he's just starting around in the form. He's back. I mean, that's the big thing, right? So we're hoping you get back. And Thomas had like a T9, I think, at the British Open. So we'd love to see those kinds of
Brooks
successes.
Won his first.
Well, yeah,
I'll take that one.
We'll take a good start here. So anyway, we're back with our PGA show, and we are moving back to the U.S. With the show this week after a not exciting British Open, unfortunately.
Again, but anyway.
Which we chronicled in our story about the British Open, but a great winner, so that's great. Great for the country and the city to have Lowry win. But we're back now, and this brings us some interesting stories. The Canadian Open used to follow the British Open before. We know how tough it was to get players. We know what the jet lag meant to some of the guys. So this week we might be making some picks that are based on that jet lag, and certainly I've made a couple that way. But let's look at the picks you have for this week. But a little bit interesting story about this golf course in this tournament.
So I'll throw in a little bit quick story about what's now happened. Obviously, with the new scheduling, a lot has changed. One thing that PGA did said, man, what tournament can we throw in behind the British Open and still get players? A WGC event, why not? And they hit it spot on because any other event would have got absolutely crushed after the British Open. So the PGA Tour does what it does, and it goes, we're going to throw in the big events right behind it, make the trip back over, and play this event. Now, the cool little story on this is it's actually moving courses this year, moving cities. It used to be the traditional Firestone golf course in Ohio there where Tiger had all those great memories. It is now out in Tennessee. And they actually have played the FedEx St. Jude, which is what this is still called. It's now World Golf Championship. Before, it was actually no event's bad, but it was not a marquee event. It was the week before the U.S. Open. Not a lot of top guys played it. So we were looking at our players, and we're looking at these stats, and some guys have great records. And I believe, doesn't matter what the field is, if you like the course, you like the course.
And this is a course.
But they garnered a lot of these stats in this week event because it was the week before the U.S. Open. Now they get a marquee time spot, a marquee event. There's a big decision by FedEx. Obviously, they're already the main sponsor of our tour. They now go get this event and make their regular season event really, really big.
But they've got a great golf course.
Oh, they love the golf course. They love, obviously, Tennessee is popular.
Yeah.
And guys, the players I'm sure will love it. It'll be a great time, great weather by the looks of it. And at the end of the day, it's a WGC, so they don't really care. It's tons of money, and it's a limited field, so they want to win these. They have lots of prestige. That's a good word for it. And so it was a good pickup by FedEx to now make this their event of the regular season. Put it behind the British Open, knowing they'll still get guys. But it is a little different when you're looking at, you're going to hear a lot of these guys had great stats. It's not from a big event. It's actually from a weaker event. The week before the U.S. Open doesn't mean they won't play well this week. But big changes to this event.
Well, we know they like the course and some of the guys.
Which is still important.
Looking at.
Absolutely.
And Joey, you're going to go through your picks. I'm going to pick mine up here on the computer. Excuse everybody.
All right, so first off, I'll start while he's looking to get his. I'm going to start with Taylor Haddon. Now, the funny story of Haddon was I picked him at the British Open because my grandma said she thought he would win.
She picked him at the British Open.
Yeah, she goes, I think he'll win. I like him. And so he had a great week last week. And I was real happy with the way he finished.
I mean, no one's going to touch Lowry, so you got to excuse everybody, really.
Yeah, I mean, when I mean great finish, he's probably like -2, and that's like a top 30 though, or top 20. After everyone actually faltered off, I didn't realize because we turned it off how much everyone fell. Yeah. It was crazy. But yes, he had a great week at the British Open. He is a good player. You hear his name once in a while. He actually sometimes gets in the news even when he's not playing well because of his temper tantrums. But I like his game. He's a great ball striker, which actually, one thing I've noticed, a lot of these Europeans are great ball strikers. And actually when they come...
when you play with the course...
You have to strike it well. But what's funny is the only reason why they struggle with putting when they come over to the States, they're so used to slow putting greens over there. But they are all fantastic ball strikers. Haddon's one of those guys. I think he'll have a good week at this WGC event. He's popped up a lot of times in these WGCs and these bigger events. So I think he'll do another great week. I like the momentum off the British Open. I feel like it's just destiny. I went to PGA Tour leaderboard. The first name I saw when I was scrolling down was Haddon. I was like, this is it. So he's actually one of my picks this week. The next one I'm going with is actually Brandt Snedeker. And what you may not know, again, because it's not a big event in the past, is he actually holds the course record with a 62. So he loves this golf course. And again...
So no matter what tournament you played,
he loves that golf course. Yeah, and he's not a guy that would have done well in the lesser event and is more intimidated by this event. He's a proven player. So if anything, He's just as comfortable, and he likes the golf course. I'm not worried about the fact now that it's a WGC, he's going to go, oh my God, I don't see that happening for him. He's been around the block a long time now, and obviously has many, many wins. I think he's up in double digits, actually, or at least around 8 wins. So I really believe he'll be comfortable. It's a course he's comfortable on. 62, how can you argue with that? I'm real happy with him. The next is Stenson. Now, actually, Stenson has never played here and actually backpedaled a little bit on Sunday. He had a good Open Championship.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be right there for second, of course. But.
Yeah, and he faltered kind of like everyone else, to be honest with you. Everyone kind of played bad. I'm not going to put it on him, but he had a good Scottish Open, a good British Open. He comes here. I think, we talked about this 3-week period. He's going on that 3 weeks. Right. I think it continues into this week. He's obviously one of the best iron players, honestly, maybe ever. Now, it doesn't get showcased as much because he's a horrible putter. And a lot of times, you don't notice how great of an iron player he is because it just doesn't resonate to winning.
Right.
But he does have a British Open. He has some wins. He's coming off back-to-back good weeks. This fits our formula of 3 weeks in a row. I think he has a good week back in the U.S. here. Like I said, great iron player. If you see him on Saturday, Sunday, if he's near the lead, you'll see him a lot. It's not because he's making 15 footers, because he can hit it literally to 5 feet a lot.
But also, I don't mind guys, Europeans. The other reason is that they're a little bit used to the time change.
I think they're used to everything. Like travel, the time change. Yeah,
I used to do this for business, right? And you just get kind of used to it. People who fly less don't get used to it, and that's the Americans. But Europeans come over here all the time flying 5 hours and time change and everything else. So I like those picks.
Well, definitely. And you got to think of the States really only has 1 3-hour time change, right? Yeah. From the West Coast, East Coast. I mean, these are the guys on the European tour play Spain, Dubai, England, Australia. Here. They come over here a lot. So they're well-traveled players, and you're right, that might be an advantage with Stenson this week. And he's a veteran, so really I think he just knows how to adjust. And at this point, I think he's more relaxed about it. He might not even play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's the advantage of being these veterans. Now, he hasn't played this course, so he might need it. Another advantage of playing this course all the time, like a Snedeker, like some of the guys you're going to mention, is they don't need to play practice rounds, where some of these guys may need to play practice rounds. So they might have an advantage with that time change too, which is valuable to the picks. And one of those guys who doesn't need to practice on this course, he's obviously a top world talent, a Hall of Famer, number 1 in the world many times, is Dustin Johnson. He is tied second in all career earnings at this golf course. He won at this golf course last year before the U.S. Open.
You need something to get him going here, man.
Well, there's nothing better when you're struggling than to go to a course that you love, right?
Yeah.
Because it seems like when you go to courses you love, and I know this from being a golfer, no matter how you're playing, you find a way to play well. You feel good. Those big misses you might be having go away strictly from confidence.
We're horse guys as well, and you hear the term horses for courses all the time.
Absolutely.
And Johnson fits into that.
So he's won this event at low numbers. He's tied second in career earnings. I think the travel doesn't bother him. He won the Canadian Open after that travel last year too. Yeah. So I like DJ. He will not need to play practice round. He knows the course. He can still maybe go out there play practice round. But he is the favorite on this golf course as far as I'm concerned. And he needs his game to turn around. But like I said, there's nothing better than going to a course you love.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Joe. And it's hard to argue. I picked DJ last week, so I'm not going to argue about DJ being a pick this week. He disappointed, unfortunately, at the British Open for me. But you can't argue picking a guy who's won here before. And he's number 2 in the world. I mean, so even though he looks like he's struggling, he's always putting in great rounds of golf.
Crazy.
And if you could ever figure out the putting, his putting was so awful. British Open, it was bizarre.
It's
it
tough
truly
to watch.
was. It's tough to watch. I putt better than DJ. I just wish I had the rest of his game.
For sure. Yeah, like if you had a 7-2 putter, anyone would go putt better than DJ.
So anyway, we're going to move on to my picks. Pardon the reading glasses. Challenge of being over 60. I'm not even going to say how much. Some of you may have heard that before. But I'm going back to my guy. If you go back to, what was the tournament?
Travelers.
The Travelers that Chez Reavie won a few weeks ago. And we had a little story about meeting him and things like that. Go back to that tape if you want to hear the story. But I'm picking him again this week. I did pick him at the British Open. I thought his game is usually down the middle. It's usually in play, but he just didn't have it. He just didn't have it.
It's too tough.
So I'm picking him again this week for 2 reasons. One is I think he's still hot. I think he's still going to be able to play well. He's a good ball striker. He's coming to a course that he likes, but also he missed the cut. And I'm picking a couple guys who missed the cut this week because they got home early. And they've got more time to acclimatize than some of the guys who went all the way through Sunday. So he's gone T12, T4, T6. So looking forward to a great round of golf from him. He'll be a big price again, especially missing the cut this week. So if you are wagering, put him into the win because that's huge odds of small money. Top 10, top 20, I think he'll be in all three of those categories. The win one's tougher, but you get the odds for it, so take a look at him. My number 2 pick was number 2 last week, and how can't you like this guy? I mean, Tommy Fleetwood can put up some amazing shooting, a lot of birdies. He was there for second, which really didn't show that he didn't have it that week. He was well clear of everybody else, but Lowry had the week of a lifetime and a career, so you couldn't argue with him there. He's got 9 top 20s. He's got 15 career starts in WGCs, and including each of the last 5 stroke play versions. So he is ready to go. Although the only thing I have a bit of an issue is his first TBC TBC South win, his first appearance. That could be a little bit of a disadvantage for him, but man, is he hitting the ball?
But he's also
amazing.
Let's get real. He's not a winner for some reason. He can, and he is consistent as crazy.
Yeah.
He can strike the ball, but he cannot win.
We know him very well. Adam Hadwin, our Canadian guy, is an ATM but cannot win.
He's not even at Fleetwood's level. Fleetwood's top 10.
Hopefully he can break through and get that win this week. I'm counting on that. My other pick is, my third pick is Justin Thomas. I picked him last week in the British Open. I liked a lot of the things he did. Although it kind of looked like he didn't play that well because of what Lowry and Fleetwood did. He actually finished tied 4th, I think it was. And so he had a great tournament. Ninth. Sorry, you're right. And he had a career best 11th at the Open. Looks like the wrist is coming around. I've been talking about it coming around. That's what happens with golfers. He's second on tour in strokes gained, tee to green. So again, like most of these guys, it's going to require a putting week. But his putter can get on fire, and he's not a bad putter.
Well, yeah, he's actually a good putter.
I'm thinking that this is his chance to break out, getting ready for the FedEx Cup. My next pick, I'm picking because I like him, but I'm picking because, again, he missed the cut. And he probably flew over early. Adam Scott, you don't need to say a whole lot about him. He had a horrible British Open. I just don't understand it. Missed the cut. However, before that, he finished second in Memorial in early June. He has top 10s in both career starts to Southwind, 7 and 2017. So he's got good experience here at this golf course. So I'm thinking that you can take these guys to win. And I'm also looking at top 10s for most of them. Top 20s almost a certainty. So if you're playing them in that kind of online fashion, you can pick them in all of those spots. And that's who I think is going to be. My winner this week is Justin Thomas. That's the one I'm putting at the top of my
Well, I was going to say, Adam Scott, man, you got to make a decision on your putter. Like, I get, more importantly, your style of putter. I don't even care if you switch every week. But pick a style, though. I'm for guys changing putters because I feel like, especially PGA Tour again for free, you never know when it clicks. Like, DJ should switch putters again. But at least DJ has a style that he uses. And I just feel like Adam Scott doesn't even know, do I want to go with the long putter or do I want to go with the short putter?
Yeah.
When I'm with the short putter, do I do the regular grip or do I do the claw grip? So I do the claw grip
He's typical of a bad putter. This is what they do.
Yeah, but bad putters typically, like even Rory has a style. He knows that he wants to putt traditional and he wants to putt with a regular length putter. Like he knows that. So he can switch putters till one clicks for him.
Right.
When you're not even knowing what style you want to use, how are you even going to make changes and get better? I would tell Adam Scott right now, commit to that long putter as far as I'm concerned. I don't see him going back to a short putter and being any good. I know he did it because in the British Open, in theory, that long putter could hinder you with wind and rain, but there wasn't much of it. But that's my only word with Adam Scott. But he's the greatest ball striker maybe on the planet, and he can easily have a good week. But that is my one topic on Adam Scott. And Justin Thomas, real quick, I think you're right. He's due for a big week. It might be a win this week, honestly.
Yeah, he's coming up to it.
He's a great putter. People underestimate his putting. He's been in the big moments quite a bit. His wrist obviously is getting better. We'll see. But what those guys lack is Scott has some experience. I don't think Thomas has any experience. Fleetwood doesn't have much experience at these golf courses. But we'll see.
Reeby
has experience.
For sure has experience there. And Thomas, I think
the bet of the week is DJ. Right now he's not favored. He's probably an overwhelming underdog because of how bad he's been playing. I'm telling you guys, when you go to a course you like, a course he's won at, it clicks very, very fast for these guys. These guys are, and you want to talk about getting home early. He didn't miss the cut, but he was obviously done really early on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I just feel like when it comes to dealing with stuff, DJ's just like...
Well, he came back won the Canadian Open after the British Open, so we know he can take that time change and still play well. And we're looking for a win. He's a top-profile guy, so it'd be interesting.
Now, quickly, who are we talking about? Brooks Koepka. We're not talking about the world number one.
It's not a major.
It's not a major.
He won't be there.
He officially said he does not try and does not practice at regular events.
He's getting ready for the FedEx Cup. That's the next thing that will worry me.
I don't even think he'll try to the Tour Championship.
But I think that he's got that on his mind. We've seen that he doesn't perform other than the majors. It's okay. Hey, it's whatever makes it work for you. That's what you got to do. And he wants big events, and I think he's getting ready for the 10 million.
By the way,
that's his next step.
I agree. And by the way, he was now the 5th player to finish top 5 in all 4 majors, joining a great company, obviously. He actually would have been the first one ever if he finished
top 4.
3rd.
Yeah.
No. Not top 4. Someone's
top 3?
done top 4, but top 3 if he finished 3rd. He did not. So, he joins an elite company there. Honestly, for golf, though, you wish he probably would have won one more.
Yeah.
But honestly, another great year by him.
Quite frankly, we mentioned this on our British Open show. Anybody but Lowry would have been good for the game of golf. He's great for Europe. He's great for the
Lowry's
event.
better than Fleetwood, though.
Well, you know what? He's just it doesn't progress golf to have a guy like him win a major.
Over there, Mike,
young
though.
guys.
Mike.
Yeah, but in the game of golf, getting to Tiger's record, getting to Jack's record, we've talked on and on about this, so we won't go too far on it. But we need someone to start challenging it. So it brings golf into focus for young kids to play the game. We're involved in the game. My daughter's also involved in the management of the game, actually at Glen Abbey. So we need golf to continue to be big, and young players get on board with guys like Tiger. We need the next guy. Hopefully this can get going. Maybe a Thomas can get it. He's young enough. Spieth is young enough. But, oh, my God, I don't want to talk about Spieth's game. But anyway, those are our picks for this week. We'll be back on Friday night or Saturday morning with our post-cut picks. But you got to get those picks in early if you're playing them. If you're betting them, become a big deal in golf now. It's been wagering on golf. And you can wager on a lot of different types of, not just the win, but top 10s, top 20s against each other, all those kinds of things. Joey and I have been on the board all year. Our golf picks have been fantastic so far. So take a few of those and hopefully you can make some money as well. But we'll talk to you Saturday morning.